topic of feral cats. So, did you want to kind of give your argument for why we should hunt feral cats?
Of course. So, in the United States alone, there are 85 million feral cats. Now, for those of you all that don't know, the definition of feral is one generation removed from human contact. So, these are cats that are not owned and have never been owned. There's 85 million of them. Now, of these 85 million feral cats here in the United States, they are responsible for the death of 63 billion of our native songbirds a year and 5 billion of our native small reptiles and small mammals. When it comes to feral cats, they are a primary spreader of zoonotic diseases. These are diseases that can be spread from species to species. Examples of these are toxoplasmosis, trichinosis, tularemia, sarcocistis, brucellosis, boreola, rabies, and also the bubonic plague. And when it comes to management of feral cat populations, the main management system we are currently using is a trap, neuter, release program, which, according to the American Bird Conservancy, which is the governing body for songbird population health and the control of feral cat populations and the effects that population control have on that population. Trap, neuter, release programs have been highly ineffective at slowing the spread of feral cat populations, except for some studies done in highly urbanized areas. So we need a better management system to help to save our native species. And I look at what works. Australia, Indonesia, and New Zealand all have feral cat culling systems. Now, some of these are a bounty on feral cats where you can go out in the woods and actually hunt feral cats like you're hunting any other game species. Some of them are different. The system we propose here in the United States would be a live trapping system where you can catch a cat in a live trap on your property, call a fish and game district trapper or a certified euthanasia technician. They can come out to your property, scan for a microchip, look for a collar, assess the cat's behavior. If they deem that cat to be feral, then they can euthanize that cat on your property. So,
Cool. Yeah, I actually 100% agree with that. And coming from like a vegan perspective, one thing that I was thinking about when I heard this on your stream is that, and by the way, we have Jeremy Gord here, and he's saying it's a good case. So we actually have, me and Jeremy have very similar ethical frameworks.
yeah,
But so an argument can be made where, so I care about animal suffering, right? And when I see a lion eating a zebra, I think that's a like it's bad for the zebra at least, right? There's really no
yeah,
difference between them being stabbed by a knife or being stabbed by a lion's tooth. Um, so I think like if it were possible to stop a lion from eating a zebra that wouldn't cause an ecological collapse, it would probably be a good thing, right? But it's perhaps like a necessary evil where it's like,
yes,
um, while lions eating zebras may cause suffering in the short term, it actually may reduce suffering in the bigger picture because it protects the environment or protects the
yeah,
um, yeah. But with feral cats, cats are like obligate carnivores, and when you have pet cats, like these days with modern technology, we've been able to develop vegan cat food, so you can sort of have a vegan cat and they can live uh, healthy and happy in a home. But with feral cats, they're obligate carnivores, so they're going out and they're essentially being lions to zebras, or they're being lions to mice and birds and things. So
yeah,
they're just going out and causing all this sort of harm and suffering, but there's no justification for it. They're not actually like contributing to the environment or contributing to the bigger picture. It's really in the same realm of factory farming because they're just causing all this suffering. Yeah, and with little justification. So
exactly.
yeah.
And what people, so the main argument that I hear against it is not one based on facts, because my main thing with everything that I talk about is I want to present you with facts from studies that have valid sources and have been peer reviewed. And like, I'm not going to come on here and just start lying about stuff, because all that's going to do is make this argument look worse. And I'm trying to be a promoter for this. Um, People will argue morals, saying that, well, cats are pets. What if it's someone's pet? These kind of things. And I hear that. For one, if you have an outdoor cat, you're an irresponsible cat owner. That is a hill I will die on. Cats are not meant to be outdoor animals. That allows them to predate on our native species and also be predated on. Now, feral cats do have some predators here in the United States, being coyotes, bobcats, some birds of prey. If you have an outdoor cat, they can fall victim to any of those. So it's not safe for the cat. It's not safe for the rest of our native wildlife. And also, outdoor cats and feral cats in general live deplorable lives. Their average lifespan is only about 2 to 3 years, compared to an indoor cat, it can range 15 to 20. So you're significantly decreasing the average lifespan of this animal because of improper care. So don't have an outdoor cat. If you do have an outdoor cat, don't allow it to be on other people's property. It's as simple as that. I am a hunter. I respect property owners' rights, and I would not want my neighbor's animal free roaming my property, causing ecological destruction. That's just common sense. So with this program that we talk about, if a feral cat is, or I'm sorry, if a neighbor's cat or someone's pet cat is caught on your property in a live trap, as long as we can, identify that it is a pet, and that will be easy to do, find a collar or a microchip, then that pet owner would be fined, because it's the same as dogs. Dogs and cats should be held to the same standard. If you have someone else's dog on your property, in some states, the dog owner is fined for not having proper control over that animal. And so we are a big proponent of that. And like I said, with people arguing against it, you hear a lot of morality-based arguments saying, no, we shouldn't do this. They're cats, they're pets. I like to throw out the statistics about other feral animals here in the United States. We hear about Burmese pythons down in Florida, feral hogs. You hear about all these other invasive species that are causing so much damage, and people want them eradicated and gone. But then you also have to realize, according to Fish and Wildlife here in the United States, feral cats are the most harmful mammalian invasive species. Feral cats cause more harm than feral pigs, and that's saying something, because feral pigs are destroying entire ecosystems in the South. So people can argue it morally and disagree with it morally, and if you do, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm not against you in any way, but for me, from a morality standpoint, I would much rather protect our native species and be proactive about this issue instead of reactive, and not wait until we're seeing species go extinct before we finally decide to make a change and try to save our native species.
Yeah. So yeah, in the context of feral cats, I think it's actually it'll be pretty hard to make a compelling moral case for not euthanizing them. Whether you're coming from like me from like a utilitarian sense, or even like a rights-based deontological sense as well. Feral cats are causing more rights violations um, out and about, killing all these other animals, um, than they would if they were just didn't exist, or they were euthanized.
Yeah.
Yeah.